Howdy. All right. Time to advance some storyline. Okay. Calling it a day. Advanced cutscenes. Make stuff happen. That must be Linear playing her ocarina. I never get tired of hearing that sound. Yes, it has a soothing effect on the listener's mind. It's the timbre. By the way, do you remember when Linear first came to us? Yes, let's once again give backstory to the player by having characters question what each other remembers. Yeah, that was a rough time. She said nothing about my father's letter, and she was so tense all the time, because Linear ever says anything at all. Yes, but when you played the ocarina, she somehow calmed down. After that, she practiced the ocarina every day. Didn't take her long to get better than me. That Linear. This growth animation's actually done reasonably well. I'm a little surprised. Like, it's not amazing or anything like that, but, like, you can very clearly tell what's supposed to be going on here. Linear's powers brought the dead flowers back to life. Her powers never cease to amaze me. Oh, so that's why the flowers around the house are in bloom all year round. The stream is... Man, I'm sorry to hear that. I thought we had finally fixed the streaming issues. Hey, wait a minute. No one ever told me that Linear had that kind of talent. Dude, she's been healing you for the past 2 dungeons. You didn't know? Well, of course you didn't know, Mag. That's because Linear tended the flowers early in the morning, when you were still sound asleep. The flowers bloomed for more than a year. I haven't had such amazing powers in a long time. Apparently, Gray has previously seen powers of this type. So now I'm going to go check my stream and make sure it's actually running correctly. I mean, it appears to be loaded. Linear? My dog is in my lap trying to get my attention. Way to go, Linear. Tell me how you've done it. Come on, please. Things do. When kind-hearted Linear sees a living thing in pain or distress, she must feel that pain herself. Perhaps God prolongs the flower's life so that Linear won't be saddened by its withering. That's my interpretation. Oh, that's cute. But perhaps I'm a tad too romantic. Yeah, maybe a little. Haha. But it's still great that Linear has that kind of talent. Linear is kind of awesome that way. Meanwhile, back at the Temple of Doom. Holy. Sir, a massive energy reaction. Whatever it is, it's huge. So, it is here after all. It must be Evolutia, the most important legacy from the ancient civilization. Sir, I have the numbers. The first response was indeterminate. Then 9, 200, no, 9, 300 every 2 seconds. I think maybe 9,200? 9,300? Wonderful. Now tell me, where is it coming from? Here, near Panam Town, sir. Panam Town. Ah, yes, home of Azrak Launcher. I knew that little brat was hiding something. I wonder what we will find. Listen, send a message to the homeland requesting official deployment of the 4th Fleet, now on standby. Tell them we need reinforcements to protect the research vessel. They'll believe that. No, more of a yeah, I know you don't need water because your bowl is currently full. But you're just gonna be a problem, huh? You're just gonna be in my way constantly, huh? Huh. I have filled your bowl with even more water. And here, I will give you a chew thing, so that way you'll be occupied for at least the next 10 minutes. Yeah, I know you. I got it. I know how excited you are. I do. Here, have a chew thing. Now take that chew thing to out some other spot. Good morning, Mag. Good morning, you two. Wouldn't hurt to get up early. I got up with the rising sun. It feels great to live such a healthy life. Actually, so did I today. Oh, yeah? Well, that's not the life for me. I'm no rooster. Just not a morning person. Linear, you hate mornings too, right? How could Linear hate mornings? Every morning, without fail, she has watered the plants around the house. We talked about this yesterday. Oh, yeah. That's right. So you do like to take care of people, don't you? Of course. That is why she is always with you. Hey, give me a break, will you, Gray? Please excuse me, Mag. I was only teasing. Well then, good luck on your adventure today. Give it your best. Don't I always? Except for the times when you didn't prior to me playing. Let's go, Linear. Okay. So we got a couple things we need to do before we actually go into the dungeon delve today. First thing is we got to go interact with the storage room. The storage room is where we can get rid of things that I no longer need. Actually, didn't I think the heavy tailcoat's actually an upgrade for Gray. I'm not holding on to those items for any particular reason. I just have a habit in RPGs that I don't like selling, like, original gear, the character stuff. I don't like selling stuff that I can't get again. Just the collector in me. There's no point to it. I'll never use that gear again. It doesn't upgrade to anything. There is no, like, trading quest or anything like that that I can use that on. It's just, worth getting rid of now. What's my money look like? I got 3,000? Okay. Still $56,000 in debt. Hi. What can you do for me? I want an assignment. You're doing so well lately. You complete your assignments so proficiently, you make our job a lot easier, too. Proficient, eh? Haha. Actually, it's not as easy as you make it sound. Is that modesty I hear? Have confidence as an adventurer. Now then, which ruins are you going to go visit next? So we get two options. Right now, we have either the Shoal Ruins or the Heaven Ruins. I'm going to go ahead and take care of the Shoal Ruins now, mostly because I don't like these ruins. So I want to get through them as quickly as possible. I don't want the Shoal Ruins to be you know, the 19-floor ruins or the 23-floor ruins. They're going to be the 19-floor ruins, but I don't want them to be the 23-floor ruins. Let's go ahead and talk to Pepper. So we're going to go ahead and invite Pepper. Now, I'm not going to actually use her. What? Money? I'd like to say, but I'll give you a discount, so don't worry. Yeah. So Pepper will actually charge you if she's in the party at the end of the mission. So we're not going to worry about that. Now, Pepper does have 3 different cart types. So she has bullet parts, which allow her to do straight damage. Special bullet parts, which allow her to do status effects against all enemies, which is really nice. It's not guaranteed, but she does have that. And then ice cart parts, which she actually does ice damage. Really, all we're doing is unlocking this stuff. You'll notice that she was capped on TP at 9999. I'm going to want to have Pepper actually set up and ready to do work later on in the game. So I need to use her TP to unlock this stuff, so that way I can get stronger abilities later. So we send Pepper away. But yeah, so I need to be able to do that with Pepper. So I need to get rid of her temporarily. We'll talk to her later on in the game. Needed the same thing for Chain. Now, Chain's kind of funny. Chain lives in this, like this bus. And, she actually bosses around the 2 guys who live here. These bottles reek of liquor. Chain, you really shouldn't be drinking in the afternoon. How could they be mine, idiot? They're Eastern Kashim's bottles. They always leave their empty bottles out. Okay, I need to talk to Shane. Now, like I said last stream, the NPCs actually do have... so Chain has the blade parts, the jet parts, and flame blade parts. So there's the elemental one. And so Chain has double blade, which is not one enemy. One rank of enemies here. Enemies around V shape. Enemies around X shape. All enemies. And then the 4 jet abilities, which cause enemies to move to front rank or move Chain around. So they're abilities, but they're, you know, they're whatever. So one of the reasons I actually don't like Chain that much is because Chain is very position dependent. Whereas, you know, if you're going to use another party member who's not gray, using Pepper allows you a lot more room to maneuver. But we're going to use Gray because Gray's broken. But yeah, so the NPCs all have, like, different dialogue depending on which day you talk to them. So we're on day 3. So that's why there's the conversation with Chain about flowers, because Linear's ability with flowers are the big deal at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and have Gray come join us. But yeah, absolutely do recommend going and playing the game yourself. So that way you can talk to all these NPCs. There's actually a number of NPCs in the game in the various buildings, and most of them have dialogue that is fairly unique depending on how far you are into the game. But all we care about is the main storyline. I like to leave those little side stories for you guys to do yourself if you decide to play on your own. I actually went and looked last night. So Evolution, so this version of Evolutions, Evolution 1, Evolution 2 on the Dreamcast, actually does not have a category on speedrun.com, which actually surprised me a fair bit. Evolution Worlds does, however. What'd this do? Reduces FP. Well, that sucks. I think that halves your FP. So Evolution's Worlds does on the GameCube. I'm actually, okay, and my FP's now back. I'm actually kind of curious why nobody runs Evolution itself. I think it's just the incredibly random nature of the game. What level are these guys? 21? I forget what level we are. But yeah, I'm guessing it's just the incredibly random nature of the game is the reason that nobody runs it. But I was very, very curious to the fact. It may be worthwhile to do Evolution Worlds. So to point out what Evolution Worlds really is, now that we've actually seen a fair amount of the game so far. So Evolution Worlds actually is a combination of Evolution 1 and 2. And I mentioned last stream that after Evolution 1, people were, I guess, kind of against the procedurally generated nature of Evolution, just because it does make the dungeons both kind of unpredictable, but it also makes them long. And Evolution 2 basically got rid of procedurally generated dungeons. There's an optional dungeon that is procedurally generated, but every other dungeon in the game is set as usual. Oh, I gotta remember to move Gray up to the front. So what ended up happening is when Evolution came to the GameCube with Evolution Worlds, what they ended up doing is they put Evolution 1 and Evolution 2 in there, because Evolution 1 does have, you know, basically relevant story that we will see as the course of the game goes on. So they kind of wanted that story in there. So what they ended up doing is they only put, I think it's a total of 2 of Evolution 1's dungeons in the game, and they're both very short. There's really kind of no way to avoid that trap. But they're both very short. You know, we have a, I think it's like an 8th floor and a 13th floor are the only 2. And then it immediately jumps into Evolution 2. And I think it's the entirety of Evolution 2, if I'm correct. So, I can kind of see why that would be the preferred speed run if you're going to do Evolution, because you don't have to deal with as much stuff. So we did get a new part for Mag, which is worth looking at. So we can do moving hand parts. So this allows you to move enemies around. I don't know how much I'm going to actually end up using it. Now, the good news is different parts, based on how upgraded they are, so you see that these are level 1, different parts have different stats they give you when they're upgraded. So you actually can get a little bit of stats even if you don't just have a straight attack booster like I'm running, which is really nice, actually. So, moving hands that we have, spray parts that we have, and then also the lightning parts are all level 1. The level is based on the upgrade stat, not how many skills you've unlocked. So by changing from, you know, lightning parts to moving hand, I actually didn't lose any stats, which is the good news. I don't know how much I'm going to use spray parts or moving hands. It's just good to have. I like actually getting them. Unfortunately, they are not the actual parts I was looking for. I was actually on the lookout for. I'm still on the lookout for hammer parts. And I think Healing Hands is the name of the other one. So because Mag actually has these, it may be worth actually looking at his abilities to just kind of see what skills we have available, because we do have a decent amount of TP. So Insecticide Spray does damage, but it specifically does good damage against, like, insects. Sleep Spray actually sprays sleep gas, so I can put enemies to sleep. Moving Hands advances one friend other than self forwards, or advances one member other than self backwards. So I could use Mag's turn to move another ally. Not gonna be very often I actually want to do that, though, because Mag's turn is more important than anybody else's turn. We also got the Cockroach Fossil, and there's the Phage's Nucleus. Both of those are appraisal items. Typically, items dropped off of enemies, those appraisal items, are actually stat-ups. I forget if the Nucleus actually is, though. And Linear just continues to be awesome. And thanks to those 2 attack ups, Mag is just ridiculous. He is just a bit superpowered. Right now, we're just going to save up TP. I basically have no reason to spend my TP. We have a lot of different abilities unlocked. The only move Mag still has to unlock that we actually care about is Giant Knuckle, I believe is the name of it. It is a all-enemy damaging ability. What's kind of interesting about that ability, though, is that Dive Punch is really just better because it costs less FP. Okay, Frying Pan with Pot Holder, I think, is really good. I take it back, it's not. An attack booster plus 15. Hi, Mag. Please have an attack booster plus 15. You don't need moving parts anymore. I would have really liked to have left moving parts on you, but attack booster plus 15 is better. Now, when I actually start upgrading parts other than his main hands, I may actually start changing my mind on that. And again, if I get hammer hands, we will be upgrading that because that item's fantastic. But I have no idea if we're going to be seeing hammer parts. Healing hands might do the same thing. I'd really appreciate seeing a Healing Hands drop. Of course I got Confusion. And it's a trap that I can't dodge. Now, oh, good. Here we go. Here we go. No, this is bad. Okay, cool. They didn't get a surprise attack. Okay, well, Mag being confused was not necessarily a bad thing. Linear being confused sucked. Thankfully, our luck is really good, and our strength is pretty darn solid. So we are killing enemies fairly quickly. But we are going to be rising through floors relatively quickly right now. Partly because our level's so high, and partly just because we are on early floors. So we're going to be slowing down pretty massively as we rise through the ranks. Nailin'. And directly into the lava we go. Headgear, we already have it. Ow. Thankfully, some traps actually do go away after you've hit them. So I'm incredibly thankful, just as a regular thing, that... Please? Oh my god. Okay, can you kill the roach? Okay, cool. We got rid of one of them. I'm incredibly thankful as a regular thing that confusion traps go away after you've popped them. Because just being continuously confused over and over and over would be just terrible. You'll notice that enemies are hitting harder and harder as we go. They're not hitting quite as hard now as they were on that first dungeon. And that's just because we've leveled up a fair bit. But enemies are no joke in Evolution. They stick with you for quite a while. Like, we kind of never get that trash mob mentality where just a given enemy is not strong enough for you to care and you just kind of blitz through them. any enemy in this game that actually gets a turn is going to do some pretty sizable damage. And you'll notice, like, that, yes, that was a special move, but even though that was a special move, even its normal attack would have done pretty good damage. And that was a quarter of Linear's health. It's just kind of a thing that we constantly got to watch out for. That's why I'm so careful to try to make sure that either I get initiative like we did on this turn, or I just make sure they don't get initiative. Because your enemies getting initiative is terrible. Like, it is a thing that is going to cause you to potentially game over. And I would like it if this entire playthrough did not have a single game over. I'm actually very upset that we had a single character get knocked out. I think Black Lava Stone is just an appraisal item. Part of the reason I don't like this dungeon is just I think the music of the dungeon is just kind of uninteresting. Nice. Yeah, the music of the dungeon is kind of boring, and then also the visuals, just the constant just orange background. I'm light sensitive in general, so any really bright backgrounds, I think this is the exit. Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, I could replace spray parts, to be 100% honest with you, but... yeah, like, just a super bright background is just an immediate issue that just bothers me more than I can tell you. Do we have... I really don't want to unlock Give Me Power. It's not a skill I really find particularly useful on Linear. Just typically, I don't want Linear... I want Linear giving FP away. I don't really want her taking FP from anybody. Because she's useful, but, like... Gray is just as useful when it comes to buffing people. So I kind of, like, don't want Linear to take FP from people. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually go over to Linear, and I'm just going to unlock this ability. Okay, that's her all enemies surprise box. It's unfortunately not her biggest, like, damaging box, but... yeah, we'll just knock that out. That's actually the only reason you'll usually ever see me go in and manually unlock a skill like that. I manually unlock skills for skills that I don't want to use in combat. And that's just one of them. I have no interest in using that skill. Hey, Mako. I'm glad that you live. Kind of an important thing. Ow. You'd think I would remember that the first time and gone the other way around, but no, I'm an idiot. And down we go. I'm kind of amazed at our luck with boosters. We've gotten a lot of boosters so far. Linear... what's really fun is that, like, Welcome Home is a raise spell that we just flat haven't needed. It has been a good number of weeks. Yeah, glad to see you here. I'm glad things are going reasonably well on your end, enough so that you can show up here. Mag, calm down. Okay, how are you not dead yet? Kind of a weird path generation there. Kind of sitting here wondering if, like, I have a setting on my Twitch that is making, like, my Twitch more stable when I'm watching, and several people have talked about, like, the stream having issues, and I never see it when I'm looking. Stream is stable? Okay. Glad to hear that. Hey, a heal. And a free one at that. Item. Chameleon color. Okay, useful. I forget. Are high heel shoes actually good? They increased luck, but reduced defense. I think we're going to pass on that. Linear already has ridiculously high luck at the moment. Okay, short floor. Interesting. I was thinking about this for a second now because we're talking about the music for this stage and the fact that I just find it to be particularly uninteresting and repetitive. But I was thinking about it because if I go back and think about like Skies of Arcadia, there's a good number of songs in Skies of Arcadia that I find to be like really good and enjoyable songs. Yeah, we're just not gonna deal with this. But there's a number of songs I find to be very good and enjoyable songs. Enough so that they're on my phone. They're stuff I listen to on a regular basis. But what kind of interests me is that especially for Evolution, holy crap, that's a lot of drops. Evolution, like, has one song that I like real in terms of like a song I would listen to. Evolution has one song. It's literally the ending credits. Oh, good. We're gonna run into that trap a couple of times because of confusion. Okay. Gotta remember that's there because we're probably gonna be going backwards. Okay, hopefully... Just gonna go ahead and take out some of these enemies. I don't feel like taking damage. Is it now the stream is hitching, huh? I know I saw a quality decrease for a couple of seconds there. I'm gonna have to call my ISP and see if they can tell me what's going on with that, because now that, like... Their excuse 2.5 months ago was that, we were seeing internet degradation because of, because of stay-at-home, COVID, and everybody was on the system at once. But stay-at-home is no longer, particularly active in this area. Saucer Parts Level 1 is a part for, a part for Shane. I think Shane already... No, Shane doesn't have it. Okay. Yeah, that's a chain cyframe part. It's actually the only other cyframe part I know of that Chain gets. But yeah, now that stay-at-home orders are done and people are starting to return to actual businesses, and especially because today is a Sunday, I don't think there's any reason why my internet should be having trouble now. Good hit. This song's almost good enough for me to... Really? This song's almost good enough for me to want to put, like, on my phone or something, but the problem is it's so repetitive that the actual song only lasts maybe 30 seconds. And I would like a song that lasts a little bit longer than that. I end up wondering, like, at the end of the day, like, for Evolution, it does have a couple flaws that are extremely noticeable the longer you play. One is lack of enemy variety, and then there was a little bit of that translation stuff that we've talked about. Some of the animations are a bit meh. And then, you know, like, music is really short and repetitive. Like, we don't have any kind of long tracks. All the tracks only last for 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and they loop. So I begin to wonder, you know, Evolution was the first RPG on the Dreamcast. So what that makes me wonder is, was Evolution rushed out the door, or just was it, we're just going to try to do something? I'm kind of curious where it kind of sits on that to kind of explain why, really? To kind of explain why, some of this stuff does, you know, seem lower production value than one might hope. Of course, it's the one in the back that you're not going to be able to kill in one hit. And you're not going to be able to kill that either. A crit would have done it. Okay, that's cool. They're all gonna die now. I take that back. That wolf just wanted to stick around forever. Can you guys stop picking on Linear? What is it about her that's a damage magnet? Jeez. Last stream was the same way. She was just continuously just getting, like, jumped on by every enemy in the room. Oh, come on. This is one of the reasons I hate this dungeon. Okay, who's confused this turn? Just Gray? Okay. And also Linear. That's cool. Mag, just end this. We're not dealing with this. We're not doing this. I've always loved Mag's design. There's something, like, super iconic about the design that he has. Now, it might just be that he, you know, he takes up, like, 7 different, you know, anime tropes. Like, he's got the spiky hair, he's got the, you know, he's got the jumpsuit, he's got the boots, he's got the punch gloves, he's got the goggles, he has the headgear. Like, he does have all of these things, and I think that's part of it. But I think it, for him specifically, all of those things actually work very well. I don't care about a purifying potion. Moving on. So it ends up on him, I feel like it's a little bit more iconic for him. Okay, so there's a new treasure. I can't remember if that's... Either that means there's a new treasure chest that contains the item that I lost, or alternatively... There's either a new treasure chest or one treasure chest got replaced with one of my items, which would suck. Talking about Mag, Mako, not Gray. Also, that move sucks. Like, I want my FP, so losing... Yeah, I was talking about Mag. Now, the thing about Gray is that I like Gray for his... Let's see. Gray, where you at? Yeah, let's go ahead and use that. I like Gray for his... Not necessarily the straight-up character design, because basically Gray is Alfred Pennyworth. I always got the impression that that's what they were going for with him. He's very much an Alfred to Mag's Batman. Okay, we blinded one of them. So I like Gray for that, but Gray's actual visual design is not particularly notable. Like, there's nothing special about his visual design. He is just the butler, like you said. The fact that he uses a rifle is kind of neat. I've seen a lot of different attack variations amongst the butler trope. I think the one from Hellsing is probably my favorite because he uses that razor wire, which is really cool. So, I mean, the rifle is kind of neat. You know, it kind of makes sense for him. But I think the fact that he's a buff character, the fact that he, you know, does go on long tangents, they gave him a fair amount of, No, but, yeah, Alfred will absolutely mess you up. Like, all the Butler characters that I'm thinking of are, like, even freaking, Jeeves. Like, even though Jeeves doesn't fight, you know he could. But, like, different characters have their own thing. I think Gray's problem is just that his visual design is not especially impressive. And unfortunately, neither is Linear. Like, I really like Linear, but she is just kind of the... Her design is just innocent girl. That's really all she is. She's got a sundress on. She's got the ponytail. You know, big sleeves, sandals. The things that makes her interesting is not talking and the fact that she has, you know, she has these powers. Pepper's really fun. I think in terms of visual design, like, it's Mag and, no, lost the headgear, okay. Okay, that does create a new treasure chest. Okay, because this should be the headgear, yeah. We had cleared that room, so we could tell very easily that was a new treasure chest. I think, Chain and Mag are probably the two most visually, interesting people. Because even Pepper, if you really think about Pepper, she's just, you know... Almost her entire visual design is just, you know... hot chick. And honestly, most of her personality is just flat hot chick as well. Thankfully, her personality also trends towards, like... self-sufficient, able to handle herself, which I really appreciate. Like, it does give us this very different feel for Pepper. I love that when spiders spot you, their you've been spotted animation is to rub their hands together and then nod. Ow. Okay, so we could Giant Knuckle. Let's start slowly unlocking spray parts. Which, spray parts is literally what it sounds like. Okay. Let's see, who's the... Can you... Crit? Nope. Can you stop it with the FP absorption nonsense? I also need to get... Okay, so we did... Reduces agility. I guess let's go ahead and unlock Lightning Spirit, because I'm trying to remember, either Gray's final Spirit attack is either massive damage single target, or it's full party. And I can't remember which one it is. Also, that damage was hot. I wish this affected him too, but that's pretty useful. Ah, darn, that was the one that was still sleeping. That's a shame. I think the thing I like most about Mag is actually what his cyframe is. I think if you gave Mag either of the other two cyframes that we see in this game, if you gave him either the if you gave him jet parts, or if you gave him do I not have I don't have an item search currently? Interesting. If you gave him jet parts, or if you... I forget the name of Pepper's actual gun. Just gun parts, I think it was. But if you gave him either of those two, I think Mag would actually end up being a less interesting character. But the massive hand just makes for a really cool concept on him. I think, honestly, the cyframes are why I remember this game the most. As powerful as, and you know, kind of really, I mean, I've said it multiple times, but as powerful and broken as Gray is, and honestly, Linear is too, if you know how to use her. As powerful as they are, it's the cyframe users who are really the more interesting of the characters. Because they're not typical, and especially if you're on your first playthrough. Let's go ahead and get rid of the headgear. If you're on your first playthrough, wow, the stream quality just took a huge dive. I don't know what's going on there. I'm actually watching it on my side screen, and I can see just how bad that went. I don't know what's going on there. I'm gonna have to call them about this. This is getting ridiculous. Agility evasion down, but gigantic. Yeah, that's probably worth it, honestly. What's really weird is I don't see any of these internet issues on anything else I've been doing, like any of the gaming or anything like that. It's literally just Twitch. I think that the cyframes are really just, I think, the most iconic thing, and it just makes it really, especially if you're like a first-time player, and you're going through the game the first time, you're just starting to see what cyframes do, you're starting to learn, oh, okay, there are literally no more items this entire floor, well, that sucks. You're really just kind of learning about the game, and especially, like, learning how do you, you know, how do you play, like, what do these abilities do? And then you start really getting those new, these are all, no, not that one. I knew that one. I knew that one was bad. Oh, God. Are these all that trap? Ah, God darn it. I have to go actually pick everything up again. But I think really you, as you get this equipment, as you kind of gradually pick it up and try stuff out and kind of learn what, you know, the difference between, you know, hand parts, hammer parts, as you get, you know, saucer parts and see how those are different from other parts. I really think that it makes for a more interesting experience for the cyframe users. But again, you kind of learn how good Gray and Linear are, and then you just are like, well, later, cyframe users. So many trap usage, or trap searches, it's kind of ridiculous. There's a good amount of items on this floor. Yeah, I've been seeing some issues with Twitch. But part of me has to wonder, is this on my side? Okay, we're starting to see enemies that are strong enough that I cannot instant kill them. Wow, all three of our heroes just crit. That was impressive. Okay, yeah, we are starting to see enemies that are doing a decent amount of damage against us. Okay, I guess we'll go after this one first, the one that's below us. Okay, I think I'm back. I'm checking something real quick, because, like, this is getting ridiculous. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back if you're in here.